Hello, back again on the Top Recap channel. This time I will tell a movie's entitled SWAT Under Siege. Let's get straight into the storyline. The story begins by introducing a man named Travis, the SWAT team commander who always manages to complete every mission. Shortly after, Travis is contacted by his boss, who asks him to come to the SWAT team headquarters immediately. Travis seems annoyed because it is his day off before the new year. However, since this is a direct order from his superiors, he cannot refuse and immediately leaves for the SWAT headquarters, worried about being fired. Arriving at the headquarters, Travis's boss, Ellen, assigns his team to assist the DEA in a raid on a drug cartel that is dealing in an empty warehouse. Ellen explains that their target is carrying evidence in the form of drugs hidden in a container with a scorpion symbol. To support Travis's team, Ellen also sent 2 of her team members to accompany them on the mission.
Sorry to ruin your holiday.
You ruin every day, Elle. Why should today be the exception? Let's go.
During the trip, one of the members showed a photo of the container with the scorpion logo, which was the main target that Travis and his team had to secure. Travis's team, known for never failing a mission, took this quite casually. Long story short, they arrived at the location. They started the operation, successfully taking out the few guards there.
Now!
Let's go.
Jackpot.
Copy, where are you?
However, they were suddenly attacked when they found a container with a scorpion emblem.
Take cover!
Travis and his team showed great skill, successfully defeating the criminals and capturing one of them named Diego. Unfortunately, one of Travis's team members became a casualty in the battle.
It's a fucking suicide vest.
When the situation was considered under control, 2 members of the DEA team tried to open the container, but suddenly, a criminal launched a missile that killed both members. Seeing this, Travis immediately retaliated with a single shot that instantly killed the criminal. They tried to open the container again. However, instead of finding drugs, they found a hideous-looking man known as Scorpion, after the scorpion tattoo on his back.
Calm down.
Travis decides to take Diego and Scorpion to SWAT headquarters out of curiosity and to investigate further, considering one of his men and 2 DEA members died in the incident.
Fuck them all. These assholes killed Phil. They should defer to us.
We're bringing them in.
Most people are under the impression that since
Meanwhile, the scene switches to a mob boss named Lars and his right-hand woman, Sophia. Lars, the biggest mafia boss, turns out to be the one who has kept Scorpion in the container. Shortly after, he receives news that Scorpion is currently being held at the SWAT team headquarters. Hearing the news, Lars is furious and immediately orders all his men to raid the SWAT team headquarters.
fucking Scorpion. I don't want to lose him. Not now. Not again.
At the SWAT headquarters, Scorpion looked calm, without showing the slightest fear of Travis's men. Ellen, who saw Travis bring Scorpion and Diego to the base, reprimanded him because they should have been handed over to the DEA team. However, Travis explains that he wants to find out more about them before handing them over and intends to interrogate them directly. Meanwhile, Travis talks to the officer at his base to find out Diego's and Scorpion's identities. The officer reveals that Diego is a former lieutenant from Hungary who defected to the mafia. However, Scorpion's identity is unknown.
You could probably do it without clearance, right? There's no way a guy protected by SPL's best is a ghost. Just find out who he is. I'm gonna go talk to this Scorpion.
After that, Travis entered the cell where Scorpion was being held to interrogate him while Diego was questioned by his men. However, Diego chose to take his own life rather than provide information to the SWAT team. During the interrogation, Scorpion said that if Travis wanted to know who he was, he could ask Diego. However, when Travis went to Diego's cell, he found that Diego was already dead. Travis returned to Scorpion's cell to ask what had happened. Scorpion explained that an enemy was hunting him for something worth millions of dollars. He also warned Travis that soon, federal agents would come to pick him up, but the agents were actually fake.
We do not have much time. I have information in my head worth billions of dollars. Very soon, you will be told that officers from a federal agency are here to take me into custody.
Sure enough, when Travis came out, two people claiming to be FBI agents came to pick up Scorpion. However, when Travis asked them some questions, they could not answer correctly, so a fight ensued.
Who are you?
One of them was defeated, while the other was cornered. The fake agent warned that they would face big consequences if the SWAT team did not hand over Scorpion. Travis quickly arrested the fake agent and returned to Scorpion's cell, only to find that Scorpion had already managed to remove his handcuffs. Scorpion's fighting skills are in top form. He corners Travis and snatches his weapon. However, Scorpion returns the weapon to Travis because he knows that the criminals will come back with a bigger troop. Scorpion proposes cooperation to Travis as soon as Lars's army attacks them.
Everything happened the way he said it would. Our mystery man's not even in the FBI's database anymore. Now, you're a cop, right? At least you were before you put the jacket on. What does your gut tell you?
Travis and Ellen then went to Scorpion's cell to ask about his true identity. Scorpion explains that he is a special intelligence officer who managed to steal something worth millions of dollars. Meanwhile, Lars is a big mafia boss who managed to seize power in several small countries and is now hunting him. Scorpion also added that there was a possibility of a SWAT team member being an informant for Lars. Hearing this, Travis plans to move Scorpion to another location alone to avoid additional victims on his team, and so that informants on his team cannot track their whereabouts.
But one thing I am sure of, someone from your team is involved.
Elsewhere, Lars meets with a hacker and asks him to hack into the CCTV at SWAT headquarters and check all identity data, including information about the families of SWAT members who work there. Shortly after, Lars's men find Travis taking Scorpion. Lars immediately contacted his team, who were already preparing around the location with orders to eliminate Travis and bring back Scorpion.
If anyone kills Scorpion, they die next.
Roger that.
When Travis was driving a car with Scorpion, Scorpion suddenly warned that a sniper was aiming at them.
You'd be wise to take cover. What?
Where are you going for help?
Luckily, they managed to survive. But soon after, some of Lars's men approached them to kidnap Scorpion. However, Scorpion quickly untied him and fought back. In the end, Scorpion managed to knock out all of Lars's men who were there. Seeing his first troops defeated, Lars immediately sent more troops to destroy the SWAT team and capture Scorpion. At the same time, SWAT members who saw the situation immediately prepared to gather weapons to help Travis and Scorpion. The officers also tried to contact other federal agents for immediate assistance, but their connection was hacked. Soon, Lars's additional troops began to arrive, until a battle broke out between the SWAT team and Lars's troops. Realizing a large number of enemies, the entire SWAT team finally retreated into the building. Travis swiftly ordered officers to lock all doors and windows using steel shields. The SWAT team managed to be in a safe position for a while. However, as they tried to call for help, the power suddenly went out and the signal was lost, leaving them isolated inside the building while Lars's troops prepared outside.
Now what?
What's going on, Elson?
They're jamming the cell tower, too.
They hacked the security cameras. They can do that?
It's not that hard.
Shortly after, there was the sound of a phone ringing, although they couldn't make an outgoing call. When Travis picks it up, it's from Lars, who wants to make a deal. If they hand over Scorpion, the SWAT team will be left without interference, but Travis refuses the offer. Lars then threatened to endanger the families of the SWAT team members if they did not follow his orders. Hearing the threat, Scorpion immediately said that he would be out in 10 minutes and asked Lars not to involve the SWAT team family, who had absolutely nothing to do. Lars felt a little relieved. He and Sophia, his right-hand woman, immediately moved there to pick up Scorpion.
Enough. I'm coming out. I will be out in 10 minutes.
However, Travis had no intention of giving up Scorpion and already had another plan to trap them. Travis instructed his troops to spread out at every window. He also told Scorpion to change his clothes, then use the prisoner's clothes on one of the dead members. The plan was for Scorpion to take the bait out through the back door. When the enemy was lured in, the SWAT team would attack them.
Is located in the deepest part of the courtyard, and that's when we hit him. Move in underneath our hidden positions.
Yeah, well, this is our only option. At least this way, it's on our own terms.
Need firepower.
You gotta change. You know, the job is risk.
We go on my call.
Copy that. We're SWAT. Let's get in position.
Take care of each other. Let's go around the horn.
Hux, set.
York set.
Jefferson, set.
Gutierrez set.
Chu set.
Ward.
Sorry, this is Mike.
When the steel cover on the back door opened, Lars immediately ordered his men to pick up Scorpion. However, he suddenly saw a flicker of light that sent a message from the Morse code, which revealed that this was all a trap. Lars immediately withdrew his troops.
Everyone move back, now.
What just happened?
Travis was surprised to see the enemy troops suddenly retreat. Ellen, who was watching from the computer, realized that someone had warned them about this trap and rushed straight to the light. The SWAT team was seen reassembling, except for Ward. One of Travis's men realizes that Ward is missing, so Travis immediately goes looking for him. Here, it is revealed that Ward is actually a spy for Lars. Ward also freed a fake FBI prisoner and planned to go to the basement to disable the headquarters lockdown system so that Lars's troops could enter.
Those DA assholes are always skimming off the top of the
However, when Ward was about to go to the basement, Ellen caught them. For self-preservation, the fake FBI agent killed Ward and then tried to continue with the plan to switch off the lockdown system. Shortly after, Travis arrives to help Ellen and explains that the enemy spy is Ward and that the fake FBI agent is heading to the basement.
What just happened?
Fucking security feed's been crazy fuck that's been attacking us all day can pop open our shields, and there is nothing that we can do about it.
Can you stop it?
No.
Scorpion on site.
As Travis and his team rejoined, Lars's troops rushed into the SWAT team's headquarters as the lockdown system was disabled. They were forced to confront the enemy forces surrounding them, and a battle was inevitable.
Let's go, let's go!
Due to the many enemies, some of Travis's men eventually died. Meanwhile, the rest of the SWAT team went to the basement to avoid being surrounded. However, Ellen was left behind from the group and met up with Sophia. In the middle of a duel between Ellen and Sophia, Lars suddenly appeared and managed to knock out Ellen. Lars also told Sophia that they must find Scorpion immediately. On the other hand, Travis and his team continued to try to get to the basement until they met Scorpion. At that time, Scorpion immediately told them to duck because he would finish off all enemy men using automatic weapons.
Duck.
After that, Travis's surviving team members were directed toward the tunnel connecting to the exit and asked to call for help immediately. Meanwhile, Travis and Scorpion decided to go back in to save Ellen.
I'll call for backup as soon as I can.
Looks like everybody cleared out.
In their search, the two instead met up with Lars and Sophia. Travis faced Sophia while Scorpion fought Lars. Despite being overwhelmed, Travis finally managed to defeat Sophia. Meanwhile, Scorpion and Lars got into a shootout until they ran out of bullets. They then fought at close range, and finally, Scorpion managed to defeat Lars. After that, Travis found Ellen, who had just woken up from fainting.
Good guys, one.
Sometime later, the three of them relaxed while waiting for help. There, Travis suggested that Scorpion leave the place immediately. However, Scorpion suddenly pulled out his gram tooth, which held a microchip, the object that had been contested. Scorpion explains that the microchip contains millions of dollars worth of confidential data. He hands it over to Travis because he believes Travis can protect it.
Microchip.
It turns out that Ellen was after the secret data from the start, so she deliberately sent a SWAT team to snatch Scorpion from Lars. Luckily, Travis managed to dodge Ellen's shots. However, the microchip fell from his grasp. Ellen immediately picked up the fallen microchip and fled towards the forest. Travis immediately chased her to get the microchip back. When Travis was going to look for Ellen in the middle of the forest, Ellen suddenly appeared and attacked him. Luckily, Travis managed to survive and eventually turned the situation around. Eventually, Ellen surrendered and was captured by Travis. Later that night, help arrived, and Ellen would soon be tried with a heavy sentence.
I was on to her, and she knew.
An officer then asked Travis to identify the body suspected of being a scorpion. However, when examined, it turns out that the body is not a scorpion. Even so, Travis lied and said that it was indeed Scorpion. In fact, Scorpion is still alive and has been secured by Travis. Travis did this to ensure that no one else would go after Scorpion. The next day, Travis was seen returning home and ready to celebrate the new year with his beloved family.